Well, look, they're testing them every single day at the White House now, not surprisingly, because two aides, of course, last week got tested positive. If you've been inside the White House, the West Wing, the media area is very, very crowded. You really can't get away from people. So there's obviously a concern that this could actually spread further throughout the White House. Of course, that would be devastating on a whole range of levels. So that's what they're guarding against. And in fact, the White House has just put out a directive a couple of hours ago saying that anyone who now comes into the West Wing, into the White House, has to wear a mask. So getting a lot more serious on that front. But the president actually will not wear a mask. And I don't think the vice president, Mike Pence, needs to wear a mask, but everyone else is supposed to, apparently.
Yeah, and I'm just reading, he's not going to go into isolation because he is COVID-19 negative. Speaking of President Trump, he's speaking live, actually. Yes, he is speaking live in Washington at the moment, so we'll return to that shortly. But he's tweeted overnight that the numbers are looking good, but the science suggests otherwise.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, as we're speaking, he's talking in the Rose Garden, and he's saying there's going to be a greater federal effort on tests and on providing swabs to the states, which I think is probably overdue, and certainly he's been under criticism there, so he's trying to move reasonably fast. He did tweet this morning, Pete, that the situation is looking better across the country. In fact, it's actually not. For about 16 states, their COVID rates are falling and the deaths are falling. But for 34 states in the US, the rates are either the same or increasing. So look, it's certainly a pandemic here that has not passed in any shape or form. Still around about 1,700, sometimes 2,000 people a day are dying. So look, this is Donald Trump is very much being a booster here. He's really trying to sort of put the best gloss he can onto it, because he's encouraging all these states to open up their economies as quickly as possible and try and get this collapsed economy moving again.
So basically, all of these states are just going to have to live with COVID-19 at the moment. I mean, we're talking about easing restrictions here, Cam, but our numbers are actually pretty good when compared to other countries around the world. And you've got the US, its figures are still sky high, but they're talking about reopening. I just feel like it's inevitable that there will be a strong second wave.
That's right, but I mean, in a way, the US is being a laboratory for the world effectively here, because they're opening up at a time when the virus is still raging and very, very lively in this country, very deadly. So we're going to see, who knows what we're going to see. Certainly the scientists think it's going to be very, very difficult. There'll be a very strong second wave. It's hard to imagine that won't be the case, but also the mood in this country is that people are in lockdown for 2 months. It's a big economy. 30 million people are out of work, and there's just a sense that people just have to go back to work and get things going again. So it's a terrible clash between health and economic imperative, and it'll be remarkable to see exactly what unfolds in the next month or two.
Just finally, Cam, who's Joe Biden going to pick as his running mate?
Yeah, a lot of speculation here. Pete, it's really getting close now. He's got a lot of people looking at this. Kamala Harris, the senator from California, is the favourite, but that's all speculation, of course. Amy Klobuchar from the Midwest, from Minnesota, is second favourite, and probably Elizabeth Warren, the progressive lady senator from Massachusetts, is about third favourite. So my money is probably on Kamala Harris at this point in time, but it could be left field. We could get some sort of Democrat version of Sarah Palin. Who knows?
I wonder. I suppose that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have buried the hatchet. I seem to recall in the really early debates where they had a stoush over busing. Do you remember that?
Yeah, they had a big debate, a big stoush last June in a debate where she effectively accused Joe Biden of being racially insensitive in the past. And that really upset the Bidens. It upset Joe Biden's wife, Jill, a lot. But they've since made up, apparently. And so she's very much in the running now. That hasn't hurt her. But I remember that at the time, I thought to myself, gee, I wonder if she'll choose after that.